everyone? Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and the Caverns of Time have been fully revealed. All the new cards that are going to be playable only in Wild and the upcoming Twist format, as well as duels, and it'll probably show up in Arena at some time. We're going to go over all the cards. There's legendaries, there's a new hero card, there's locations, there's a lot of memes, a lot of throwbacks to some old cards in multiple formats. We're going to review all of them for both Wild and Twist, as well as go over, there's like some signature cards and all that. Tons to go over in the video. So if you enjoy the content on the channel, feel like I've earned your subscription, please hit that sub button down below. Give the video a like. I'm waiting to see what the bundles will be, or the things they'll throw into the shop that'll be giftable. And I will be doing a giveaway probably tomorrow. As long as there's giftable stuff that's worth gifting, there will be a giveaway, a Caverns of Time giveaway, courtesy of me tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. So let's take a look at the cards, and we're going to start off with Druid with the Rat Sensei, a 2-mana 2/2 beast. It has Battle Cry and Death Rattle. You add 2/1/1 turtles with taunt to your hand, and they're just like little beast tokens like that, so not too bad. Overall, it's a little bit of a value generator. It's a Death Rattle generator, but I don't think any current Wild strategy is going to use this. Maybe a Twist card could use it. I mean, you have N'Zoth brings it back, I suppose, but you also get the 1/1s initially right away. I mean, it's 4 cards for 2 mana. You might have some hand size issues with this card. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5 in Wild, a 2 out of 5 in Twist, but again, you never know. It could be worth that insane value. And what do we have next? We have Invigorate, a 2-mana nature spell. Choose one. You gain an empty mana crystal, so it's like unnerfed Wild Growth, or draw a card. So you don't have to wait till you're at full mana to get that, you know, the excess mana. Draw a card. Wild Growth at 2 is insane. Wild Growth at 3 still sees play. This is a 5-star card in Twist and Wild. This is just absurd. You're playing this in base, and it's a nature spell to boot. You can generate it, discount it. Absolutely ridiculous card, and I'm sure there'll be some complaints about it. Next we have Cenarian Hold, a new Druid location, 2 mana. Your next choose one. This card has both effects combined. So it's like Disciple of Eonar, but a location you can time for whenever. We see how good that effect is right now, right? You can put this on Nourish. You can put this in Wild on a Drum Circle or whatever you want. Coon, your Malfurion, the Pestilent. Again, in Twist, not as many choose one effects to really abuse. Nourish is the main one that comes to mind, but still probably worth. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5 in Twist and a 4 out of 5 in Wild. Again, Druid got some pretty nutty stuff. Hunter gets Dern Hold Imposter, a 3-mana 3/3 minion. Each turn this is in your hand, you transform it into a random 3-cost minion that gains poisonous. So it can be anything, it gains poisonous. Seems like a bad meme. Doesn't seem like a good card in any format. I'm gonna give this a 2 out of 5 in Twist, a 1 out of 5 in Wild. I just don't see how getting a random 3-cost poisonous minions is a strategy you really want to go for. We have the Time Lost Raptor, a 2-mana 1/1 beast. It has Echo, Battle Cry, adapt your Time Lost Raptor. So there are no other ways of getting a Time Lost Raptor that I'm aware of. So you'll play this initially as a 1/1. You'll be able to adapt it. So give it like +3 attack, +3 health, right? And then you play it again, and then you adapt this one again and the new one once. So for like 10 mana, you can adapt 5, and the first one will be adapted 5 times. Seems very slow. It doesn't have Rush, Taunt. You can buff it with like a Dire Frenzy and things like that. But overall, I'm gonna give this a 1 out of 5 in Wild and Twist. I don't see it seeing play. And we have the Trial of the Jormungers, a 5-mana hunter spell. Summon a copy of 2 beasts in your deck that costs 3 less. So it's quite similar to what was it, Guardian Animals, except it's the cheaper version. So you can get out a Starving Buzzard, you can get out you know, a Rusher, a thing like that, or whatever, right? Like a cheap beast, and that can be quite good. You're tutoring it and you're summoning 2 copies of it. You're not actually using that too. So it doesn't thin your deck, which in some ways can be worse, but it can also be value. I could see this seeing play just because Starving Buzzard is a card, and I think depending on the order, if the Buzzard summons first, although it might do it at the same time. I'm curious how it'll work if you like draw cards or not, depending on how it goes. I'll give it a 3 in Twist, a 2 in Wild, because I do think it's probably decent enough to see play in Twist, where this might be slow. Like, it's slow, but it might be good enough. We have the Black Morass. Dude, it's like Morass. Imposter, a 2-mana 2/2 minion. Each turn this is in your hand, transform it into a random 2-cost minion that gains spell damage +1. Already have a 2-mana 3/2 Cthulhu minion in Twist in Wild that's a 3/2 with spell damage +1, which is a good card. It saw play back when Mean Streets was a thing. I don't think it'll see play now. And I think it's better than this card on average. Like, yeah, you could get some upside. Maybe that random 2-drop's good. But again, I'm going to give this a 2 out of 5 in Twist, a 1 out of 5 in Wild. I just don't think a random 2-cost with spell damage +1 is really worth it. Spell damage +2? Maybe. But 1, I don't think so. We have the Disco at the End of Time. A 6-mana epic mage spell. Cast 5 random secrets from the past. But you're playing in the past. But yeah, I guess it's anything that's not in standard, so no objection, I'm hoping. At the start of your turn, destroy them. So your opponent just has to play around 5 secrets for a turn by probably passing and doing nothing. Like, this is a weird lockout card. I don't know if this is really a viable, playable card. You could play this in like a Medivh deck and get a random 6-drop. That could be pretty cool. In Twist, I'm going to give it a 2. I think it could have a shot, maybe, but still not, because it's very expensive. But the memes are solid. It's like Mysterious Challenger kind of, but again, you destroy them at the start of your turn. And in Wild, I gotta give it a 1. It's just way too slow, but you can get Ice Block, so be aware of that. We have Chromie the Time Hopper, a 6-mana 4/4 Mage Legendary. Battle Cry, visit a historical epoch, shuffle the others into your deck. So basically, you'll be able to see these. You'll be able to get 2 random legendary minions, give your minions +2/+2, get 2 random spells, or deal 2 damage to all enemies. I believe that's all of them, yeah. So you'll be able to discover one of those and then shuffle them in, right? So that's really good value. I think this is like an arena card. I'm pretty sure this was like an arena event card, a legendary very similar to that. You get a bunch of value. Getting random legendaries, the AoE can be good. It's very slow, but in Twist, it might be playable, where I do think Twist is going to be pretty fast too. With all the buffs and, like, again, Buzzard, War Song, all unnerfed, it's probably a really fun card, but probably a bit too slow. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5 in Twist, and I'm going to give it a 1 out of 5 in Wild. It's so slow, and these effects, like, are just not that great. Like, you're not summoning 2 random legendaries, you're getting them, right? Like, you need to be ahead on board for that one to be good. You just get some spells. The AoE can be okay. It's just, yeah, I think it'll be a bit too slow. So again, 2 in Twist, 1 in Wild. If that's what I said before, I hope it was, but that's what we're gonna go with. We have the neutrals as well. I'm going alphabetically is the way this folder is posted. Shark Puncher, a new pirate, 2-mana, 2/2 pirate. Give a random friendly pirate +2/+2. So we all know, like, Pirate Rogue's very popular, Pirate Warrior, all that stuff. You get a 2/2, and it can be basically a 4/4, but those decks aren't particularly about being, like, sticky and death rattly. I don't see this as being particularly great. It doesn't do a lot when you play it. No great way of, like, cheating it out. No crazy synergies. There are so many good pirates in Wild that I don't think this makes the cut. So again, I'm gonna give this 2 out of 5 in Twist and Wild, but not terrible. It might, like, just sneak into certain lists. We have the Timeline Accelerator, a 3-mana 2/2 mech. Battle Cry, draw a mech. It costs 2 less. I mean, this can just go into whatever mech decks you want, right? You can cheat it out with Mech Warper, Galvanizer, all those type of cards, and then you get mana cheat on top of it. It's cycle. Those decks like to do that. This is a lot more busted to me in Wild than it is in Twist, where I don't think mech decks are particularly strong in Twist at all. So I'm going to give it a 2 in Twist, at least the current format, but in Wild, I will give it a 3. I think it sees play in those mech decks. We have the Future Emissary, a 4-mana 4/4 Battle Cry, or dragon with Battle Cry. Reduce the cost of all dragons in your hand by 1. Give them +1/+1. So you're getting a big hand buff, and you're getting mana cheat. Dragon decks will love this card. They don't have access to a lot of mana cheat outside of like the 5-mana 5/5 Paladin Dragon that made your next dragon cost 2 less. This is nuts. This is like a 4-star wild card. Some dragon decks gonna abuse this. Like, it's so good. And a twist, I'll give it a 4 too, because there's dragons to do. There's just a lot of mana cheat plus hand buff. Like, that's pretty nutty. And you can build around it pretty heavily if you play a lot of dragons or just amalgams too, right? It works for that. So look out for that card. That's pretty strong. And then we have like the Battlegrounds cards. Menagerie Bug, 3-mana 2/2 Battlecry. Give 3 random friendly minions of different minion types, +1/+1. I appreciate the meme. I don't think like Menagerie Warriors playing this. It doesn't have a tribe. I'm giving this a 1 out of 5 in standard, or sorry, in wild and twist. Same with Menagerie Jug, also a Battlegrounds card. 5-mana 3/3 Battlecry. Give 3 random friendly minions of different minion types, +2/+2. I'm gonna give it a 1 in wild and twist. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe these effects are like, they were terrible in Battlegrounds, but they're really good on ladder, where you can't guarantee a minion on the board like you can in Battlegrounds. Like, I don't see it. We have the Infinite Amalgam. So a new amalgam, 4-mana 2/4. So it has every tribe. It counts for every tribe. It is Inspire, Frenzy, Spellburst, Honorable Kill, and Overkill. Summon a random 1-cost minion. So it does any of these things, you get a 1-cost minion. So you could, in theory, get 5 different ones, unless some of these can be redone. I think Honorable Kill can be. I can't remember anymore. It's been a while, but some of these you could like repeat the effect, get some 1-cost minions, but it doesn't have Rush. It's a 2/4. You got to work for this. I'm gonna give it a 1 out of 5 in twist and wild. Maybe it's insane. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm missing something, but I really don't think I am on this one. Speaking of mana cheat in dragons, we have Sora Dormy, a 5-mana 8/8 dragon. Baralkin, what are they doing? It's dormant for 2 turns, so you don't get to proactively use it. And plus, it doesn't have Rush Taunt or anything like that, so when it does summons, it won't do anything, except when this awakens, reduce the cost of all dragons in your hand by 4. So with that neutral, you can get so much mana cheat on your dragons, it's pretty nuts. You could make a combo deck maybe around it with a Malagos, old Malagos, with spell damage +5, and do some shenanigans. Again, I'll give this a 3 in twist. I feel like maybe it could work out. It is slow, and there's not a lot of incredible dragons, but Dragon Priest was relevant back in the day in Mean Streets, so look out for that. And in wild, probably too slow. Again, there are Malagos shenanigans, but I'll give it a 2. It's way too slow and wild, but a pretty darn cool card. And we have Valston Staghelm, a 6-mana 3/6 minion, Death Rattle. Summon a taunt minion from your deck. I could see this being like a big demon style card where you get like Void Lord, or the 5/7 that gets a 5/5, or Rin if you want to troll people, like old Rin, new Rin, whatever. You can get like Graybow in Druid and Wild. Again, quite slow. You got to really build around it, and it gets transformed. It feels really bad. It also doesn't have taunt itself. You can do N'Zoth stuff, but overall, I think it's a little too slow for either format. I'll give it a 2 out of 5 in wild and twist. Now on to Paladin cards. We have Timeless Blessing, 4-mana holy spell. You get 4 random minions in your hand, +4/+4, +3/+3, +2/+2/+2/+1. That is a lot of stats, right? That's +10 in stats. If you have 4 minions in your hand, you can't decide which ones get it. I assume it's random. It's a lot of hand buff, and hand buff Paladin has been a thing in the past. And in twist, this seems pretty darn good. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 in twist, a 3 out of 5 in wild, but that is a lot of stats for Paladin to use. We have more dragon support, Bronze Dragon Knight, a 4-mana 3/5 dragon Battlecry that says 5 or more attacks. I'm gonna copy of this, so you just want to hand buff this by +2 attack, and you get at least 2 5/5s, and you're probably buffing the health as well. So yeah, hand buffed Dragon Paladin, a thing? I don't know. Again, doesn't have Rush. It's just pure stats. Paladin can use that. In Twist, I will give it a 3. In Wild, again, I think it's a little too slow, although Hand Buff Paladin has been a thing in the past before. It might make the cut, but usually it's proactive stuff. So I'll give it 2 out of 5 in Wild, but again, one I could definitely be wrong on. We have Rooney, the Time Explorer, a 3-mana, 3/4 Paladin Legendary, Battle Cry, discover a location from the future. So I guess we're going to get a sneak peek of what are going to be the upcoming expansions. I kind of doubt it, but here are the locations. You will not be guaranteed a specific one because there's more than 3. We have the outskirts of Lordaeron. Choose a minion, destroy all minions with less attack than it. So that's a pretty good control option, and it has 2 durability. Again, you're gonna have to spend the mana to play the location. It just discovers it. It's not that busted that you just also summon it. You have Wind Rider Roost, summon a random 3-cost minion, give it charge. Wolf Rider with charge seems absolutely busted, but not bad. Some reach, and you can also buff that with whatever shenanigans you have in Paladin, which can be very effective. We have Zenidar, your next battle cry this turn triggers twice, so it's like Bran on a location stick. Again, you're gonna want battle cries. You could play it on this legendary, get more locations if you could get it back somehow. We have the Nighthold, cast 3 random Paladin secrets. So Oh My Og is in business, at least in Wild, not so much in Twist. Valdraken, get 2 random dragons with +2/+2. So again, dragon support. Ruins of Korun, draw 2 cards, swap their costs. So it's like switcheroo almost, like you can try and do some really broken stuff if you reliably can get this location, which you can't, but that is a potential high roll. Definitely mark combos on the way. And Temple of Earth, choose a friendly minion, summon a copy of it with +3 health and taunt that can't attack. So this is like a lot of value potentially. Card draw, like removal. It's got a little bit of everything, and you're gonna get 3 choices, so you're probably gonna get something that's of use. You're also getting a 3/4. In Twist, it seems like a 5-star card because there's not a lot of incredible cards like this in Twist. This is like above the curve in so many ways back in the day. So I'm giving this a 5 in Twist. In Wild, I'll give it a 3. I think there's potential for this to see play in a multitude of deck. Like it's such a crazy, bizarre card, and these locations, we'll see if they pop up in future expansions. I have a feeling they're not going to, considering they're like all legendary too. But yeah, look out for that. We have Shadow Word Forbid. Priest can kill 4 attack minions. And only 4 attack minions. 2-mana shadow spell. Destroy 4 attack minion. If you corrupt this, you play this, something that costs more than this while it's in your hand, you get to destroy all 4 attack minions. But that's it. It also is tradable. Absolutely terrible. 1 star in Standard and Twist, but the meme is super solid. Unless like there's a super 4 attack meta, they re-nerf Caverns Below and give 4/4s, maybe then, and you're still losing to that anyways. So yeah, it's a pretty funny one there. We have Ship's Chirurgeon, 1-mana 1/2 dragon pirate. After you summon a minion, give it +1 health. You can play this as just any aggressive priest deck, which didn't really exist back in the day, but it is a dragon to disrupt the pool of discovering dragons for your AoE and your Highlander priest. So be aware of that. You can play it in Shadow Priest and all that stuff in Wild. It's okay. I feel like giving a little bit of a health buff is something, but it's only a 1/2. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5 in Wild and a 2 out of 5 in Twist. I still don't even think you played. Actually, you know what? I'll give it a 3 out of 5 in Twist because I actually could see Dragon Priest playing this, because just getting sticky on the board is one of the things that deck really like to do. For Rogue, we have Mount Higel, Imposter, 4-mana 4/4. Each turn this is in your hand, transform into a random 4-cost minion that gains stealth. This is probably the best of them because we all know how fun stealth is, and you can get Worgen Greaser, a 4-mana 6/5 with stealth. The power creep is insane, but maybe some pure tempo stat rogue deck wants this. But overall, I'm giving it a 2 out of 5 in Twist, a 1 out of 5 in Wild, but I guess they made these cards, so they do exist. We have more Jade support for Rogue, which already looks pretty good. Jade Telegram, 3-mana spell. Look at 3 cards in your opponent's hand and shuffle one of them into your deck. We all know how annoying that is with Secret Rogue. It's a pretty good effect. And then you also summon a Jade Golem. I think it's a really solid card in Twist, where I think Jades will be good enough, and this is just more Jades. Like, Rogue was the only class that didn't have an extra Jade card, I believe, too. So they finally got it after all these years. I'll give it a 4 out of 5 in Twist, and a 3 out of 5 in Wild, because maybe Disruption. Maybe it's worth it for disrupting your combo opponent. And we have the Scarab Lord, a 4-mana, 3/3 minion. Terrible. And then you summon a Gong for your opponent. In a combo, you can give this rush and kill the Gong. Well, what is the Gong? The Gong is a 0/2. After this takes damage, fill your opponent's board with 1/1 scarabs. You could like board lock your opponent. This is the mark. This is literally a mark combo deck. If they can't clear their own board, they're stuck with 1/1s that are going to kill you. I don't really know how good this is. Oh wait, you know what? I should read. It's not that bad. It fills your opponent's board, which is your own board. We could have had a good Zeddy moment, which we probably already had earlier. By the way, let me know in the comments below what I messed up on. But yeah, because this is your opponent's, it's summoning it for you. So you get a bunch of scarabs. My goodness, I almost had a heart attack, and they're just 1/1 beasts. Is that good? It's a bunch of stats, and in Twist, that might be good enough. So I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. In Twist, in a Wild, probably not, but it is a 4-mana 7/7 kind of. But also, if you give your card Rush, it also will take a board spot, so you'll just get 6 of them. But still, it's a lot of stats. But yeah, I could absolutely see play in Twist. But imagine it was what I originally thought. Like, why are they making a card like that to board lock your opponent? I was trying to justify it, okay? But at least I caught the mistake. Next, we have Totally Totems, which we already reviewed. We have a new hero card for Shaman. Alakir, the Winds of Time. 7 mana, Battle Cry. You draw a charge, Divine Shield, Taunt, and Wind Fury minion. So you can get Alakir. It draws itself, but it could draw up to 4 cards. So you build around that. That's pretty darn cool. What's the hero power? Because hero cards always have a hero power. Well, it's 2 mana. You give your hero Divine Shield. So you're getting a defensive option, but more importantly, they gain +2 attack in Wind Fury this turn. You just deal 4 every turn. You can attach Rock Biters, the 3-mana deal 3 and gain +3 attack, or the new 3-mana spell that summons a 3/3 rusher and +3 attack. This seems legit in Wild. This seems very legit in Twist, where there are no hero cards outside of Lord Jaraxxus. So that seems quite unfair. Quite ridiculous. In Twist, it gets a 5. In Wild, it gets a 3 because it's 7 mana. But still, you're probably playing it in like a Shutterwalk deck just for that value. But you also, like, it just seems like a crazy card. But in Twist, it seems outright utterly broken. So look out for that. We have a new Warlock location, Chamber Viscidus. Look at 3 cards in your hand and choose 1 to discard. Draw 2 cards. It's 2 mana, 3 uses. It's the hero power from Duels, which is pretty good, which costs 1 mana. But yeah, discard Warlock. Likes this, you get to selectively choose a good discard card. Get a Golem, a 3/4 Golem now. Or like in Wild, draw 3 cards. Or do 6 damage, right? It's a really solid card. In Twist, in Wild, I'm giving it a 3 out of 5 as Discord Warlock. I could see absolutely using this. So it draws 2 cards. The Duels one only draws 1, so it's even better than that. It does cost 2 more mana, but still, pretty darn ridiculous discard card. We have Witch of the Archthief, a 4-mana 2/4 minion. Battlecry, summon a 1/3 Voidwalker with Taunt. If your opponent has more minions, repeat, it's spreading plague on a body. So yeah, you get 1/3s across the board if your opponent has a full board. We know that effect's pretty good. This does take a board spot itself. It doesn't have Taunt. So let's say your opponent just has 1 minion. It's a 4-mana 2/4. That feels pretty bad, but this type of card historically has seen play. I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5 in Twist and Wild, where I could see Reno Lock absolutely running this. Cho'Gall has been reworked into an 8-mana 8/8. He was just terrible. He was terrible, but now his Battlecry. Return all cards you discarded this game to your hand. They cost health instead of mana. So you can play Cho'Gall and just play a bunch of stuff. There is so much value and shenanigans possible with this card. In Twist, I'm giving it a 3. In Wild, it's way, way, way too slow. but the memes are there. There's some really cool stuff you can do. I'll give it a 2 in Wild. We have Blast from the Past, Boom Scheme, maybe originally. Get 2 spare parts, so that's from like GVG. They're not great, but they're okay. But you also summon 2 1/1 Boom Bots. You shuffle a bomb into your opponent's deck. That is a lot of value in one card. You get bomb support, you get boom bot support, you get spare parts, which is value. They're just 1 mana spells. Overall, I'll give it a 3 out of 5 in Twist, 2 out of 5 in Wild, although it can help with your boom bot core set achievement. We have the Ivory Rook, a 4 mana 4/4 minion, Battlecry Discover, taunt minion, gain armor equal to its cost. Get Sogoth, you get 9 armor. And then you're stuck with Sogoth in your hand, but not bad. I wish it had taunt itself. That would be a bit nice, but gain a bunch of armor. I'll give it 3 out of 5 in Twist and a 2 out of 5 in Wild. And Hobart Grapple Hammer has been reworked or redone or whatever. 4 mana 2/2. Battlecry, if you have a weapon equipped, give all minions in your hand and deck +2/+2. That is an insane Keleseth. Like, just have a weapon and everything gets +2/+2 except for the minions on the board. That seems ridiculous in Twist, where that format again will be a bit slower. I'll give it a 4 out of 5 in Twist and a 2 out of 5 in Wild, where I do think it's too slow. And that's all the cards. So I will link this blog post down below if you want to take a look. All the cards are listed there in detail. A lot of crazy stuff, a lot of memes, a lot of cool stuff. And again, these are the signature cards. There's a bunch of them. They will all be openable in Caverns of Time packs, even if they're not eligible. Like Cthulhu Aya and Don Hancho are from the sets, but something like, let's say, N'Zoth the Corrupt or Yashaj Rage Unbound. These are from Darkness at the it's at Darkmoon Fair, right? Finley, Bran, Elise, all these cards, you can still get them. Only signatures in those packs, so you don't have to open up specifically those style ones. But yeah, lots of signatures, very hard to get, very expensive. And I don't know if I'm actually a huge fan of these style. Compared to the latest ones, they feel like they're kind of interesting, but a step back. Anyways, that's all the cards. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Well, the day 1 patch review, and it should be a lot of fun stuff coming up. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends.